Hello.
I see right here.
Good to see you. Do you need a drink?
I just had a coffee, so I think it should be pretty good. Okay, guys.
All right.
Is this my spot?
That is
Yes.
your
We do have
spot.
a couple people joining via Zoom. It's an open meeting. Okay.
Very good. So the format's going to be, we're going to ask a prescribed list of questions that we'll ask every applicant. We'll go in order. You'll answer however you want. At the end, there will be a chance for you to ask us questions and a little bit of open dialogue. That sound okay?
Okay.
Very good. We'll start off with explain why you want to be on the planning commission.
Well, the reason I applied was there was an opening. And in the past, all three of you know, I've worked with the Republican Party. They seem very negative. This seems like a positive way to participate in my county. That was the main two reasons.
Tammy, describe why you're qualified for this commission.
I probably am not qualified for this commission. I've been here in the county for a while. I have no specific ideas, but I can have opinions or whatever, and encouragement or dissension if it's something that I don't care about or care for that's being brought up. What was your question again?
Why are you qualified for this commission?
Okay, and so that's my answer.
Okay, Tammy, I'm gonna have one question and then a couple of little addendums to it, okay?
Yeah.
First question is, what would your goal be for the future of the planning commission? And my second question you can add to that is, what do you see as the work of the planning commission? What do they do and how do they do it?
So what was the first part?
The first one was, what would you see as a goal? Your goal for the planning commission?
So what I think the planning commission does is help you all sort out whatever comes in. I would like to see some commerce come in, some learn more about what the state's putting down on you guys that might be causing issues, and maybe how we can get around those things or be positive in getting some change done so that we can bring some things into Oreille County. Was that an answer to both of them?
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, what do they do and how do they do it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I am willing to learn all those things. I'm not coming in with a predisposed idea of how to make things happen. I want to work with the people that have been doing it for probably 5 or 6 years.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask on that one. I'll just expound and I'll make sure to ask the other applicant the same question. Because a lot of people do have strong opinions about this. Are there challenges? Are there things the planning commission is getting wrong?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I think that they should be working with the three of you with ideas.
Well, I certainly have my opinions on it, but I'm looking for patterns here. You know, I mean, if I hear from enough people that, hey, you know, this is one they're not quite getting right, I'd sure like to know. So, okay.
Please describe your previous experience serving on community boards.
Well, I've been on the Republican board for 5 years now. I am at the state level on the state Republican board. I've worked possibly possibly on the planning commission years ago when I lived here once before. I know we did a lot of trainings, but I've got all that paperwork, but I didn't even think about that until just now. I have been on the fire department here in Newport. I worked as a volunteer on Groom's Ambulance when it was Groom's Ambulance. I did work for the police department for 3 months. That was a hard job. God bless those people that have to do that job.
What did you do?
I was the 911 dispatcher.
Got it.
Ponderay County is a great place to live. We need to make it affordable and comfortable for the people that are willing to stay here and bring their children up here and have their children stay.
Okay, Tammy, are you familiar with the Public Records Act and Open Public Meetings Act? Two-part question. Or are you willing to take training and follow the law?
Oh, I'm always willing to take training and follow the law. I've heard those names, John. I'm not going to say that I know them inside and out. I won't try and bluff you at all. If I don't know some of them, I'll be upfront with that.
Okay, next one's really simple. Will you be willing and able to commit to monthly meetings, including reading materials ahead of the meeting and attending each meeting?
Yes, sir. And those meetings I was told are in Cusick?
No,
They used to be held in Cusick. They're now typically the second Tuesday of the month here in the commissioners' meeting.
Oh, well, that will be even easier.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at that I knew it was going to be at least monthly before I filled out the paperwork.
Please tell us what you know about the Growth Management Act.
Oh, I know that the only thing I know is that it's really difficult to be able to work with it here and give us any growth and I only know from being told it's difficult to get rid of it. I don't know if you can get rid of it in part or make it to work to our advantage. I know it's been something in the news and talk for quite some time. Some people think they can get rid of it. I don't know. I like to see us to be able to work it to our advantage.
Okay, I'm not sure why this question is on here. I guess we'll do what we can. Do you have any questions regarding the Planning Commission position?
It's a 7-person board, yes?
So 7 people. Okay.
Two and one, yeah.
2 to 1. No, I read the stuff before I filled out the paperwork. I've heard some people say don't be on it. It's a waste of time. And I'm like, maybe not. I mean, we need people to work together with you three because you don't have eyes every single place in the county. Neither do I, but a different set of eyes. And if we don't work as a team, then we're missing something. Oh, do you three attend those meetings?
The Planning Commission meetings? No.
Okay. That one. How do we get that information to you all?
Planning Commission makes recommendations. So around the smelter stuff, just for some very honest history, around the smelter stuff and some of the big changes that needed to happen there, our prosecutor was recommending we kind of keep this rice wall between the commissioners and the planning commission. Before I was commissioner, I sat in on a number of those, but we don't need to be in there influencing them. We ultimately get to vote on their recommendation up or down or rework the recommendation. So it's my understanding they don't get to enact anything. They recommend it to the Board of County Commissioners.
Yes.
I have certainly tuned into some of those online, but no, we don't. We're kind of steered away from sitting in there and giving comments to Ben that, like any citizen, we can express our concerns to our planning commissioner. Basically.
The representative from the planning commission to the board would be our staff at ComDev. They would take your recommendations and your actions, and they would bring those points of decision and policy to you guys, and you would make the first recommendation on it when it applies, and then they would bring that to us of what that decision was and what that.
That's
Yeah.
the
Great.
question you got.
Or one of the other staff there, and they would be the ones that would know when those points of decisions elevate to the authority of the planning commission, and when those decisions that they are qualified to make, some of those decisions they can make administratively, and some of those decisions the planning commission can decide, and some of those decisions these three here decide. And so the experts on that are the community development.
Okay.
And for my part, Tammy, the beauty of a 7-member board is you're truly a commission in that you ought to be soliciting input from the people you represent, for lack of a better term, right? For you, District 1. Because, we've all got opinions and we're going to sit down with those, and there's no avoiding that. But being able to hear from the people around you, or people who have tried to do business, or whatever else it is in District 1, it's kind of be like a fire commission or a police commission, right? Is acting as another liaison, so that we're not adding one by one, we're multiplying. Tammy's got people, each of you are talking to a group of people. It's so tough to get engagement from the public.
It is.
And then something like this, as you well know, it's like watching paint dry sometimes, unless you're really interested in it. It can be dull. Operational policy. So getting that feedback to us, we have very few other means to receive feedback, outside of our own circles. Echo chamber is not going to serve us here, right?
Right. And you could be bouncing your voice off the wall and just hearing back from yourself. That's can get stale also.
We have one other applicant for this position. We'll be interviewing that person later today, and we generally make these decisions fairly quickly, so we will let you know pretty much in short order.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was good to see you. Congratulations on your wins.
Thank you.
John, welcome. Appreciate your offer of service. Going to ask you a series of questions. We'll go in order. You are the second applicant for this position that we're interviewing today. And we're just going to do the same that we did before, and there'll be a chance at the end of this for you to ask us questions. So all we ask is that you take the time to think about the questions and then give us your best response. That sound okay? Yep. Very good. I will lead off. Please explain why you want to be on the planning commission.
Well, I've always had this desire to serve my community, and frankly, I live to serve. I have always been involved in community engagements. I have been involved in the planning of the homecoming parade, which is one big planning area where I have basically planned. And then I've also done environmental cleanup. So I think that we need environmental stewardship, but also need to advocate for environment or economic growth in our community, which I think could serve our community well.
And I didn't quite use a word before, something for economic growth. I
Yep.
didn't quite pick up on the word you used, I'm sorry. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay, all right, so we'll just go with economic growth.
Yep, economic growth.
Great.
John, describe why you're qualified for this commission.
Well, like I said before, I have always had a desire to serve my community, and I think I know enough about this community. I was born here, I have lived here, and frankly, I'm a young person, I'll admit that, and it's young people that are moving out of Oreille County, and we need to start bringing them back in here. And I think that me, like, as a young person, I like try and convince my friends, hey, there's plenty of job opportunities over here, you should stay. And I keep on getting responses like, well, there's bigger manufacturing jobs in Spokane, or like, so I just think that if I'm on this commission, I can help in a bigger capacity.
Okay, my question, John's going to be a little bit of a two-part question. First, can you tell me your goal for the future of the Planning Commission? And then can you tell me what you see as the work that they do? What is it that they do, and how do they do it? So tackle that with whatever order you want there.
Okay, so the job that they do, which is advise you guys. And I think that I could do an excellent job at that. I feel like I'm good at giving advice when people need it. And frankly, I think that I could I'm trying to word this. Sorry.
Just re-ground you in the question.
Yeah.
Your goal for the future of the Planning Commission?
My goal for the future of the Planning Commission. So my goal is to basically get more economic growth in here and basically revise the current comprehensive plan that is in place so that it's easier to keep jobs here so they don't move out.
So I'm going to follow up on that, John, because this is an interesting concept that I don't know that I've ever heard about the Planning Commission. So I couldn't ask you the last one because it wasn't set up.
Yeah.
Planning Commission as a means to retain business.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a minute.
Retain business. So I want to keep business here and keep it local. So we need big paying jobs here, but I want to keep business local in Oreille County so that we don't have too much big corporations running the show. Here we want it to be business oriented towards our citizens.
Did that get through yours, Brian?
Yep, you're up next. Or I'm not, Robert.
John, if you would please describe your previous experience serving on community boards.
So, as you guys probably know, I'm a senior in high school, and I've been involved in a lot of community boards. I was my ASB class president last year, and I have enjoyed talking to people. I've enjoyed listening, and I've also enjoyed like getting involved in the community. Like, part of my job entailed me going to businesses downtown and talking to them about homecoming preparations and stuff of that sort. And I was also involved in an Earth Day cleanup for the school, which we would go around town picking up garbage and stuff of that sort. And I also know a lot about the way that our community government goes, because I have repeatedly went to the Newport City Hall during council meetings and watched business proceed through them too.
John, are you familiar with the Public Records Act and Open Public Meeting Act?
I'm not currently.
Hey, are you willing to take training and follow the law?
Yes, I am.
Will you be willing and able to commit to monthly meetings, including reading materials ahead of the meeting and attending each meeting?
Yes, I am, and I'm actually pretty involved and pretty committed to going to meetings, because the city council meeting, I believe, is on like every first and third Monday, if I'm correct. And I try and make it to everyone. So,
John, please tell us what you know about the Growth Management Act.
well, well, as we know from last election cycle, there was many myths going by that people thought that they could, like, obviously repeal it just willy-nilly, which that was one thing I disagreed with them wholeheartedly on. But I believe that the Growth Management Act is in place, but it shouldn't stop us from trying to develop more business here, if that makes any sense.
Okay, John, do you have any questions regarding the Planning Commission position?
Not really, but I just want to say that I'm thankful for being here. It's an honor to be in a position where I have the opportunity to serve. And like, I live to serve. And I love listening to people. I love listening to their concerns. And as somebody that is getting ready to graduate high school, instead of me like gearing up to pack my bags, I want to stay here and hopefully grow a family here and make sure that young kids can stay here, grow a family, and grow the population. With population growth comes more jobs. So I just want to say, like, I want to be helpful in any capacity I can.
It's a wonderful attitude to have. And just as much as you appreciate being here, we appreciate having you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you, John.
It's singular, John. It's very singular in my 4 years in office to have someone like you at the table for a board position. So
Remind me of myself about 30
settle
years
down,
ago.
right? You can be a little hard on his.
Yeah, but yeah, no, appreciate it.
Do you have any other questions for me? Or?
I think that's everything we've got here.
All right, we're going to make a decision before too long. We will let you know. Crystal will
Okay.
let you know right away.
All right.
Very good. We'll hope to see. We will see you again.
All right.
All right. Keep serving.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.